Probably there is a story that Brahma is the creator. One day he was just sitting and contemplating, and then 2 teardrops fell from his eyes. 2 teardrops fell along his cheeks from his eyes. And he held the teardrops in both his hands. And he contemplated upon the teardrops, and these 2 teardrops became 2 beautiful young women in Brahmaji's hand. It all happened all on a sudden. And those teardrops were drops of joy because he was contemplating upon the mystery of creation. And these 2 women, now he thought, what will I do with them? This will become a problem now. I never thought. Then he thought, and then suddenly, mentally, Brahmaji can create everything mentally within a split second. He ordered for a beautiful garden, wonderful garden, with the trees and flowery trees and bushes and then pathways and lakes and all that. Wonderful garden. And he set these 2 young women into the garden. So they were running about in the garden, dancing and singing and all that. And then they came near the pond. There was a wonderful blue pond in the garden. They came near the pond and looked into the pond. When they looked into the pond, they saw 2 beautiful women there. And they felt very good. They want to pat on the cheek so that young women, and then when they tried, the water got disturbed and the beautiful woman disappeared. Because when the water is disturbed, then you cannot see the image. And finally they decided to jump into the water and touch that 2 people. They jumped into the water, they swam in the water. They could not find where they were. They cannot find because that's their own reflection. They swam hither and thither and finally they emerged. When they emerged, they became monkeys, they say. They became monkeys. And the moral of the story is, when you see your image, don't give any reality to that. The reality of the image is you yourself. So we are running behind our images, which is reflected in the pool of the mind. And the mind is disturbed, our image becomes very disturbed. Then we think we are disturbed. And because of this, we behave like a monkey. Who is a monkey? Restless person, running all around. You are beautiful people, but you have reduced yourself to the status of a monkey. And these 2 monkeys became Vali and Sugriva. That is one of the stories in Adhyatma Ramayana. The origin of Vali and Sugriva is Brahmaji's Ananda Bashpa. And they became women. And then they looked into the pool and they saw their own image. They thought that is real. That they started chasing them. And when you chase your own image, your own shadow, you become monkeys, isn't it? You are chasing your own shadow. The shadow, long shadow on the road, you are chasing it, you are running behind your shadow. You will never reach your shadow. Can you ever reach? When you run behind your shadow, that's what we are doing. We are running behind our own shadow. And it's an endless struggle, going round and round and round and round and round and round. That's where samsara chakra we talk about. In this samsara, we are going round and round and round. Therefore, still your mind. Sit down. Quieten your mind. Then you can capture your true spiritual reality. And hence, nischala tattve jivan mukti. Now thus you can realize your own inner powers. Living liberated you become. Continuing. Vayasi gade kah kama vikaraha shushke nire kakkasaraha shine vitte kapparivarah jnate tattve kassamsarah. The life of misery is called samsara. Everything is miserable for you now. Something which gives you pleasure today gives you pain tomorrow, isn't it? Something which you like today you don't like tomorrow. Today's good friend is tomorrow's worst foe for you. So this way the life goes like a chakra, samsara chakra. One half of the chakra goes up, the other half of the chakra comes down. This is how chakravat parivartade. Everything goes on changing and moving like a wheel. That's why it is called samsara. Samyak saradi iti samsara. That which is constantly moving and flowing is called the samsara. So this samsara, and you are attached to that samsara, and because of that is pain and pleasure, insecurity, anxiety, tension, because you lost your center, you have not touched with your spiritual center. Once you have touched with your spiritual center, you can move into the samsara. I told you that story in the Ganga, taking a bath in the Ganga. You hold on to the rope or the chain and walk into the Ganga, you can comfortably take a bath and come back. But if you lose hold of the chain, then you are finished. That's our position now. We lost the hold of our center. And hence, how do I get out of this samsara? Jnade tattve. You have to know the tattva. Tattva means the inner self, which doesn't undergo any change. The inner self is there. Everything else changes around it. The inner self is like a white screen. In the white screen, the play of light and shadow creates storylines, experiences. But the white screen is innocent. It is not affected by anything. In the movie, you may find blood or fight, but the white screen is totally innocent, isn't it? Similarly, your inner self is only the background in which the play of life, light and shadow, good and bad thoughts, all these things happen in your inner self, in the screen of your inner self. That self is not affected by anything. Once you discover that, jnade tattve, when you know the truth. What is the truth? My nature is happiness. That's the truth. I am Satchidanand, Shivoham. The Gurus give you that mantra. Go and chant Shivoham. And when you chant Shivoham, don't think you have to dress up like Shiva. You don't have to do that. You are Shiva. Shiva means that infinite happiness, an infinite bliss that I am, which you have to remember. So once you know the truth, there is no delusion about the world. The world simply disappears for you. That's a very difficult concept to understand. What do you mean by the world will disappear when I know the truth? Do you mean that afterwards I will not be able to recognize my house, my children, my property? What do you mean by the world will disappear? It only means the world can no more bother you. By making you feel that you don't expect a happiness or unhappiness from the world. The world is no more a cause of happiness or unhappiness. There is no more expectation from the world. The worldly activity is like a play for you thereafter. It's a play. You go around playing in the world. When you play, you don't expect anything, is it not? When these football players run behind the football, 11 young men here, 11 young men here, in the football ground, both of them are running behind the football, one football. And when they run behind the football, you and I sit down. What a miserable young people are they. All of them are running behind one football and it costs only 10 rupees. Why should they run behind them? Therefore, you decide to freely distribute one football each to each player. Will he be happy? He will not. He is not running behind the football to get the football. Because when he reaches the football, again he kicks it. He is running behind the football to experience the inner joy that is latent in him. It is not that he is greedy for the football. So similarly, once we understand the nature of the world, we don't expect things from the world. When we interact with the world, our only idea is to invoke our potentialities. Just as a football player tries to invoke his inner powers by running behind the ball. Similarly, if you know that, then the world is no more an obstacle for you. An expert swimmer, the ocean is an opportunity, isn't it? If you're an expert swimmer, an ocean is an opportunity. You can jump into the ocean and swim. In the same ocean, you can drown also, if you don't know how to swim. The same ocean, if you know how to swim, you can enjoy it. The same ocean, if you don't know, you can drown in it. Similarly, the samsari suffers in this world, where a jnani, viveki, enjoys the world. It is only a viveki who can enjoy the world, not a samsari. For a samsari, it's a burial ground for him. It tortures, the world tortures. But for a viveki, the world is an opportunity. That's why he says, Jnade sattve kas samsara. Where is this samsara? Where is this miserable world? Once you know the truth. Once you know the truth, the world becomes an opportunity for you. Once you know swimming, the ocean becomes an opportunity for you. If you don't know swimming, and the powers of swimming was hidden in you, you have to cultivate that power. When you cultivate that power, the ocean is an opportunity. Otherwise, the ocean will be a burial ground for you. Jumped into the ocean, never came back. But once you know it, so jnade tattve kas samsara. Once you know the truth, the world is no more a problem. It is something like this. Shankara gives 3 metaphors, example. Meaning, once you, the truth, knowledge of the truth, remove the delusion about the world. Like what? Chine vitte kas parivara. Chine vitte. When you become poor, you lost all your wealth. You are no more rich. When you are no more rich, where are your friends, he says. What happened to your friends? Earlier they used to invite you, come to your birthday and all that, periodically inquire about you. And once they know you lost all your wealth, where are these friends? They all will disappear. They not even remember you. They have no time for you. So when you become poor, the friends desert you. Shushke nire. When there is, water is evaporated in a lake, kas kasara. Where is lake? Where is lake without water, he said. Water is all gone. Then there is no lake. Earlier you used to call it a lake because full of water after the rain. The summer comes, water is all evaporated. So without water there is no lake. Without wealth there are no friends. Vayasigade kama vikara. When you are old, there is no lusty thoughts. All the thoughts are gone. All are dried up. Because you are 93, there is no lusty thoughts. Naturally, those thoughts will dry up. Similarly, once you know the truth, there is no world in which suffers you and torments you. So when you say there is no world, the world is no more an object of seeking. You don't seek anything in this world. You play with the world. Just as football players did not run behind the football for the football. Similarly, you will be moving about in this world, not for any particular selfish objective, but because happily. So when you happily move about in this world, the world is no more an object or an obstacle. The world no more can torture you. There is no samsara for you. What is there is God's creation for you. You enjoy the world. Continuing. So please don't misunderstand. When we say an enlightened person, there is no world, don't think he will not see the world. He will see the world. But he will not seek happiness from the world. That is all. And when you don't seek happiness from the world, then the world is not a problem for you. If only you seek happiness, then you want to retain, to possess, to aggrandize and all that. When you don't seek happiness, the world is no more an obstacle or a problem. Continuing.